If you feel you have what it takes to be awarded as the best in the business, here is your chance to apply. Head on over to our website, download the form and apply. If you face any troubles when applying or feel the need to get in touch with us directly, email us, call us, tweet at me directly at Sunanda_J or join our Facebook group.
Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, 18-hour special initiative that celebrates the undying entrepreneurial spirit of micro, small and medium enterprises. This is the only daily MSME platform in the country, a show where you can voice your concerns and get answers to all your queries directly from our team of experts. We understand the issues that you, the MSME entrepreneur, face, and this show aims to bring you the most relevant and updated information on everything related to your businesses. Tonight, to answer your queries in studio, I have with me Prabhakar Dalal. He's the former Executive Director of the Export-Import Bank of India. And we also have Sushant Mitra, Founder and CEO of Lead Angels. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us here tonight. Let's start with our first query. This is an email coming to us from Pihu Menon, who's written in to us to say that they have a lot of competition as there are a lot of companies which are entering the real estate space. And Pihu wants to know from our experts how to really face as well as overcome the same. So Pihu, I'm assuming, is a real estate agent or owns a company in the real estate space, and specifically with regards competition. If you want to broad base it and talk about other industries and how MSMEs can effectively compete with others, because it's not a fight that you can do just on cost.
Yeah, in real estate space in India there are 8 to 9 major players like 99 acres or India Property or Makan, Magic Bricks and others also. The new trends in this space, I mean, if you want to overcome the competition, one is that the expansion is likely to happen in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. There is a lot of product development in terms of showing the flats and other properties in 3D view. There is a mobile app also that is being developed for this purpose. Then many of these are also showing listings which are verified by them in terms of titles being clear and all that, so that there is an element of trust that whatever listing is done on these portals are verified by the hosts. Then a lot of course advertisement is there, online advertisement, email, radio, TV and print, of course, so that is also there. Then there is data and analytics, ratings of the developers, the price trends, the supply and demand statistics which are being made available. Then there is partnerships and alliances, like this real estate agency, they can have partnerships with certain developers.
Sure.
And that is how they can go ahead in the competition.
Sure. Do you say that, would you also recommend that it has to largely be fought in technology?
Yeah, technology and innovation. So I think across all industries, there is disruption happening because of, mobile apps, technology in general and specific, like 3D imaging. There's so many things which are happening, which are affecting everybody, across multiple industries. So innovation is a key way of, which enables smaller companies to compete with, the bigger companies which are there in space, like you mentioned, Magic Bricks and 99 acres and all. So you have to be more agile in terms of, incorporating new technology. And the other thing is, I would say that, the personal touch which a smaller company can provide, which larger companies cannot provide. So that is the other thing where he could, provide that personal touch to the customer so as to retain that customer, which larger companies cannot provide.
Okay, Pihu, I hope that answers your query in terms of what really you can do to take on competition. Do remember that technology, of course, is your biggest aid as well as your biggest friend in this space. Our next query is also an email that's coming to us from Arfat Khan, who's written in to say what strategies can be implemented to improve the marketing of any company, particularly and MSME. Maybe I can ask you to take that on.
Yeah, sure. So exactly following from the same, the last question, it is about how you can use the new areas of technology, Facebook, Twitter, social media marketing, which MSMEs can as well use. The first step to that is to analyze your customers. What sort of customers do you have? What are the social media or other print and other media that they use? So analysis is very important. Before you start spending your marketing dollars, it's important to analyze your customer base and see what are the segments which are the most profitable segments, and then see what sort of campaigns you should run for those particular segments, and then have a mechanism that you do a little bit of experimenting and see what is working and what is not working, because you could end up spending a lot of money in buying Google AdWords and realizing that it's not really converting into revenue. So you would rather look at seeing what is do small experiments, try what is working, and then spend larger amounts on that. I would advise at least the first few months they should take in an advisor or a services company to help them along, and then learn how the techniques themselves, and then start applying it on their own.
Okay.
Well, yes, I agree with him. An MSME will not have much resources to spend on marketing expenditure. So little things he can do. One, for example, he can create his own website. He can create a small audio visual or video he can upload on YouTube, which can be accessed. He can get some data on the prospects, which he can follow through by sending emails 2-3 times, and his CRM should be very strong. Any complaints or any concerns expressed by his client should be addressed immediately. So these are some of the things which an MSME can do for marketing his products and services.
Okay, but yeah, and we talk about this quite often. So since we're talking about branding and marketing, and we've spoken about this quite a bit, and you're saying work with an expert at least for, say, the first few years or for the first year or so, and then have your own strategy in place. What about those who don't have the money for that, and also organically to develop a responsible brand image? What advice would you have?
So I think one is to talk to their peers who are successful and find out from them how they have done it. So it's because there are, there can be huge expenses, and you might just go overboard in spending money, and money is something that you want to conserve. So you should find out what all worked for your competitors, what all worked for other people in that particular sector, and start experimenting with that if you cannot afford to have an external agency. But I would still say that there are freelancers who are available, maybe interns who are available from MBA colleges or other places, whom you could get on board. They would like to have some practical experience. You could learn from them about their experience, and the organization as a whole can learn. So it need not go or recruit or hiring an agency. You could hire an intern who would cost a fraction of an agency.
Mm-hmm. Would you want to add to that?
No, I already mentioned, economical means of advertising or doing marketing, like have your own website, put it your audiovisual on the YouTube, use of email, first find the best prospects and then follow through.
Sure.
And like you rightly mentioned, you can have an intern. If you can't do even that, he can help and do all these things.
Okay, trust that answers your query, Arfat. Let's take in our next query. This is coming to us from Neha Agarwal. Neha, go ahead. What's your question?
There can be approach for skilled laborers for cotton mills or textile industry.
We talk quite a bit about the lack of availability of skilled laborers, whatever is the industry. Textile now is an industry that's been in existence for so long. There are entire ecosystems and hubs that have been built around the textile industry, and yet with progressive generations, with the use of technology that's also coming in, it seems like the challenges of manpower is something that is increasing. What advice do you have for someone in the textile industry specifically, and also if we can broad base and talk about other industries?
Yeah, India has the largest workforce, but there is not enough skilled workers for the textile industry or other industries also. As per one report, only 3.5% of the workforce is a skilled workforce, as compared to 40 to 50% in the developing countries. And this has been recognized by the government, and they have set up Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship. There is National Skills Development Corporation. So as far as textile industry is concerned, India, I mean, is one of the largest sectors, and there are people who are already trained. So one is go to the clusters where people are there and recruit from there. If that is not there, then from my experience, I can tell, I have dealt with textile companies. What they do is they get their existing workers to bring their relatives and friends to work and give them on-the-job training. That is one way of skilling the labor.
But traditional industries always face the challenge that the next generation doesn't want to be involved. They want to move on to different industries.
Yes, but I mean, that is one way of getting the people to skill them and then work. Yeah, next generation, that difficulty is there. I agree.
What advice do you have?
So I think, for startups, the best way to do it is to, grow your own fodder, as they say, grow your own. So in-house training is, because whether it is, an engineer from an engineering college, or, diploma holders, or even unskilled, people, is all about training people and getting them to, reach the level of skill that you require. It's best to do that. It's not always possible to recruit people from the other companies and bring them on board.
Okay, all right, let's take a very quick break at that point, but Neha, thanks for writing in, or rather calling in with that query, and I do hope that you've got the answers you were looking for. On the other side, we'll continue taking in all of your queries. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. With us here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, and we're continuing to take in all of your queries. The next query is coming to us on social media. Do remember that you can reach us on social media using the hashtag LOT, or we have a Facebook group, and that's the Leaders of Tomorrow, and you can reach us there with your queries. Vijay Sundaram has written in to us on Facebook to say, how do bankers play an active role in deployment of efficient and tightly integrated enterprise solutions for the manufacturing segment? Do you want to tackle that?
Well, integrated enterprise solution includes system integration, your EDI, your product data exchange, and creating distributing computing environment. But what role banks can play, that's a very strange question in that sense, because banks will provide finance if it is a bankable proposal, if it is a viable proposal. So banks can encourage large companies which should have this enterprise solution, integrated enterprise solution. They can encourage them to install such solutions in their companies, and they can provide finance to these companies, long-term finance or short-term finance, whatever is the requirement.
Correct. So absolutely. So we all need to modernize our, and make our operations more efficient, and this is one of the ways in which, manufacturing companies can become more efficient, and banks have schemes for modernization, and this could fall in that, and therefore banks could, give loans and other support to people who are undergoing this sort of processes in there.
Okay, that's in response to your query, Vijay. Thanks for sending that in to us on Facebook. Let's take in our next query, and this is coming to us from Ovesh Sharma. Ovesh, what's your question? Go ahead.
We are into Ayurvedic medicine business. So I just wanted to know, how do we market our product? Can you suggest some strategy for it?
So he's in the Ayurveda space, and I would presume that with the popularity of Patanjali, it's really paved the way for any questions that may have existed about the popularity and the reach of such products. What would you recommend?
Well, yes, a lot of products from Patanjali, and I think major players are Dabur, Baidyanath, Charak, and Zandu. But most of these products are FMCG products, OTC products. on the counter like, but they are not medicines per se. You have Dabur Chyawanprash, or you have Indulekha hair oil or Navratna hair oil. So these products are being sold as an FMCG or OTC product, where you need a lot of advertisement and distribution channels and all that. But for promoting Ayurvedic medicines per se, what needs to be done is you should have documented validation process, you should have documented quality control procedure, you should have R&D for promoting Ayurvedic medicines, toxicity profile should be maintained, batch wise record should be maintained, and impurity, which should, I mean, whatever depending on the product, should not exceed, for example, 0.05%. So record should be maintained so that there is a trust as far as medicines are concerned, and then this can be promoted further. So a lot of work needs to be done, and Ministry of Ayush is working on that. So I'm sure that apart from the OTC products, which are really gaining momentum and becoming very popular, even the medicines per se, you should have more outlets, more Ayurvedic doctors. I think it can be promoted.
Okay.
So I think what Patanjali has done is they have opened out the market for Ayurvedic products, because now Ayurvedic products are more acceptable to the consumers, which is one trend. The other trend is that increasingly people are realizing that allopathy is not the medicine for all types of diseases and so on. So in both these trends will help smaller manufacturers and brands to find a niche for themselves. And I think Ayurveda is such a big field that there will be many niches which a Dabur or a Patanjali is not operating in, and they could actually find those niches and create products and leverage the fact that these are two broad trends. One is people are increasingly focusing on non-allopathic medicines, and that, you know, big companies like Dabur and Patanjali are expanding the market through their promotions and advertising. So companies can leverage on both these things and sell their products.
Thanks very much for that query, Ovesh, and I trust that answers your question, and all the very best to you. Let's take in our next query. This is coming to us on Facebook from Monica Fernandez. Monica has written in to us to say the hundreds of sellers listing identical products online, and therefore this immense competition amongst sellers and of course amongst buyers, and this is leading to a situation where there's price competition, which is hurting especially the small retailers. She's written in to us to ask us what our experts suggest about taking on such competition and tackling the situation without taking a hit on bottom lines. So this is a tricky question, because on one hand, if you are anyone who's selling in the online retail space, then you have to just live, I guess, with the discounting strategy that your competition is offering. How do you stand out and how do you survive?
Yeah, it's a tricky question, but a very pertinent question, because everybody is asking that question. The market is so large in India that both retailers and e-tailers, they have their own place, and retailers should adopt a new strategy, like for example home delivery of goods, accepting orders on emails and phone calls, like a housewife goes to, working woman goes to office, and from there she can send an email or make a call, give a list, and it can get delivered during a particular time, like delivered to me at this address at 9 to 10 p.m. So retailer can do that. He need not be an e-tailer. He can provide after-sales service, which it is possible but very difficult if you go to the large e-tailers. Like some product is not working, then it is very difficult to contact him and get it repaired. But somebody is there, like across the road, he can provide after-sales service, he can return the goods. So with personal relationship, personal touch, even retailers can also have their business roaring.
Okay.
Absolutely. So of course, you know, a physical retailer should focus more on the services elements which e-tailers cannot provide. But I'm assuming if in case this person is in e-tailing, then this is a fact of life that they will face competition in terms of pricing. So there are two possible strategies. One is to focus on a particular product category and therefore build volumes there and therefore be able to provide competitive pricing, or choose such products where the other players are not there. So that's the only two strategies then one can apply from a pricing competition perspective, apart from services, additional services that you provide apart from just the product.
Okay. Let's take in one quick last query as we're running out of time on the show. This is an email that's come to us from Shanawaz Sheikh, who says that they make steel products for the automobile industry. Steel prices have fallen quite a bit, so their production has gone down. He wants to know what our experts suggest about how to resolve this problem. It's obviously very difficult to give an outlook in terms of where possibly steel prices are headed, but for someone who's depending solely on the steel industry, what advice would you have?
I would think that if the finished product prices have come down, naturally raw material prices would also have come down. And in the interim, what can be done is you do the cost cutting by way of keeping minimum inventory. You cut on your overheads till such time the prices pick up. And be in business so that when the opportunity arises, when the prices of final products go up, he can again make profit and be in business.
Okay. Sure. Also, a diversification, is that something you'd recommend?
Yeah, process improvement.
So one is he can improve the price in his cost structures. Two, as you said, he could look at other sectors, maybe the home sector where, where steel is used, or other industries where steel can be used, and he could think of developing products for that market, because automobile sector itself is quite competitive, and automobile majors are very, very price conscious. So you could look at other sectors which are not so price conscious.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much as always for coming down tonight and running our viewers through all of the queries that they've sent in to us. Do remember that if you have any query about any aspect of your business, or you want to get in touch with us, you can write in to us at leadersoftomorrow@timesgroup.com. You can reach us on social media using the hashtag LOT. You can personally tweet at me at Sunanda_J, or call us on that number that you see flashing on your screen. We promise to have all your queries answered. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
If you feel you have what it takes to be awarded as the best in the business, here is your chance to apply. Head on over to our website, download the form and apply. If you face any troubles when applying or feel the need to get in touch with us directly, email us, call us, tweet at me directly at Sunanda_J, or join our Facebook group.